Join us on the previous stream. We do apologise for the connection issues, but we're back on anyway for the start of Q2 at Albert Park. And the 5 drivers we lost at the end of Q2, they were Martin, which is a bit of a shock. We expected him to get through. We also lost Red Dog. We lost... In fact, Jay Hunnell got ahead of Harry in that qualifying session. Flicks starting at the back of the grid after not setting a lap time following his collision with Jaihu on circuit. Here we go then for Q2. We'll lose the next slowest 5 at the end of this session before we go on to Q3. Now, who's going to gamble on a set of the medium compound? We've got one of the Ferraris on circuit. That'll be Droftus in the scarlet red. He's on the soft compound as Droftus. He probably doesn't think he's confident enough in getting through on the mediums. The medium didn't really prove to be that quick. Can do when he starts his for this season. We are at round 6 Australia. Next week we go to Imola and then Brazil to wrap up the month, followed by Montreal in February, with Austin, Paul Ricard and Abu Dhabi to come in that month. And then the final quadruple of races in March will be in Baku, Barcelona, Bahrain, and then the final round of the season will be at Suzuka, Japan on the 25th of March. And Droftus is coming around to start a flying lap now. The next car ahead of him is just gone through turn 3, so he should have a fairly clean lap here. He runs wide at turn 1. That won't help. Rear wing is open as he heads through. And Droftus in the Ferrari, heading towards turn 11. Turns are nice and early. Turn 12 wasn't too bad either. So Droftus, the championship leader, hasn't been in the best of form in recent weeks, unlike where he was at the beginning of the season. Twice a winner. Now he's heading over the line for a 1:24.2, which is not very quick, if I'm honest with you. That was because of the mistake he had at turn 1. So he may decide just to go again and get a better up him. Then the next man over the line will be Dark Inferno. I'd imagine he'll be on a better lap than Droftus. Beats him by 2 seconds almost. So Droftus on the back foot a little bit here with that lap time he's just put together. Hamster next in the Red Bull. 1:23.4. And Rabico's exceeded track limits. Scotty is in the AlphaTauri. You can see more cars over the line now. Albie goes fourth with a 1:24.0 on the mediums. Scotty 1:22.6 on the softs. I have to say, Simps has posted a 1:22.5 on the mediums. That's a very impressive lap there. Dan goes top with 1:22.3. Bruges starting a new lap. I say starting a new lap. He's just posted the fastest time of all, 1:21.8. Synix is on a lap. Jaihu on a lap. MDG coming through sector 2 now. 49.3 by that point. And now he'll be looking to complete this lap with ease. Rear wing open. MDG over the line for a 1:22.2, which puts him in P2. Ooh, and that's a Haas there that nearly dropped it. That was Jaihu coming through. 1:23.5 on the medians for him. I doubt that'll be good enough to get him through into Q3. And Droftus is in the pits. Sonic starts a new lap now. Rabico is not on a fast lap. Calvin is in the Red Bull. It's just coming towards turn 3 on the soft compound. 9 minutes to go. We'll lose the slowest 5 at the end of this session. Calvin will want to make up for the absence in Portugal. He's already won the season at Silverstone, remember. He's coming through into sector 2 now. We're 49.1. Very nearly exceeds. Oh, he spun! Calvin spins into the wall and lifts the car up as he hits the wall. He stays out of everyone else's way. But that won't have done the car too much good with that rear wing hitting the barrier at such high speed. Now, how much damage has that rear wing taken? It must have taken a significant amount. Only he will know. But Calvin will not be too pleased with that error there. Synix posts a 1:22.5, goes 6th with that lap. And let's see who else is on a fast lap. Aiden Grant a fast lap. And Synix is not on a fast lap, so the next driver will go to his noodles. 49.6 by sector 2. It was quick in Q1. And there's the Haas staying out of the way. And Calvin has posted the time at least. But I am conscious as to how much he'll have to throw that car into the corners to make up for the lost time. As Noodles comes through. 1:22.7, only 8th. And Calvin seems to have turned the car into the corner of turn 9 rather well, it has to be said. So he was very, very lucky to come away with only a minimal amount of damage. But he's through sector 2 now. He makes the same mistake again! Taking too much curb, but at least he kept the car out of the wall this time. Gray comes back into the pits, presumably to get onto a set of the soft compound. So Droftus on the mediums. Coming through also. Rabico is yet to start his first lap of this session. Well, he was on circuit earlier, but his lap time was invalidated for track limits. Droftus just needs to get a better lap on the board here, to be honest with you. At the very minimum, he needs to try and be in the high 22s. Even better than that, it's a 1:22.4. So Droftus has given himself some breathing space to get through on the mediums. And there's Noodles just backing off the pace. Rabico, oh, he's gone for a spin at turn 2. But he's kept out of the wall at least anyway. There's Dark Inferno coming round in the Haas. And this lap time of his is a 1:21.9. He goes up to P2. So Inferno doing a very good job as a reserve this evening for his first appearance of the campaign. I'm just waiting to see who will be on a fast lap. Well, Inferno is obviously not. Droftus is definitely not. And Rabico had a spin at turn 2, so he's most certainly not on a fast lap. And I think the next man we're going to be seeing start a flying lap is probably going to have to be Rabico, because this would be his flying lap, but he obviously had that spin. So we'll just stay with him for now. He'll carry on, just get the lap on the board, so at least it's something. So the bottom 5 are currently Hamster, Jaihu, Calvin, Gray and Rabico. Rabico just giving himself some offline through 2. Opens the DRS for 3. Now he's heading through turn 4 or 5 even. 26.9 by the first sector. So Albie is the driver at risk in 10th on a 1:23.3. The next man ahead of him is over half a second clear of him. So Albie will most certainly be back out on circuit very soon. And even Bruges is out on circuit for Alpine. Not sure why. So Rabico enters the last corner now with just over 3 minutes to go. Rear wing open on the McLaren. And this is a 1:22.0. Goes up to P3 with that time. And Great, meanwhile, heading into turn 13. Gray, who's currently 15th with no time on the board at the moment. It's coming through. Let's get a lap on the board. How close will he be to get out of there? The answer to that question is a 1:22.9. Only 11th for Gray. So he's going to have to find some time from somewhere. Might do it on this lap or the next one. Hamster currently 13th. Jaihu not on a fast lap, but he is in need of an improvement. Hamster down by sector 1. Let's see how Gray's getting on, because I think he's going quick through sector 1 here. He's marginally down. He's keeping himself in place. Synix, who's currently 8th in the AlphaTauri. He's aiming for an improvement from where he is. He's 4 tenths away from the drop zone. So, Synix, is he on an improvement here? Yes, he is. 2 tenths up from before, which is good news for him. So here's Hamster, needing an improvement. Bruges improves his time. We want to stay with Hamster to see if he is finding enough time. And he goes up to 12th place. He found half a second on that lap, but it's not enough to move him out of the bottom 5. Calvin, meanwhile, is heading through the last sector. There is a Ferrari ahead of him who should not cause him too much trouble. That's Droftus, who is out there. I think Droftus will be fairly safe, if I'm honest with you, but he is only 3/10 away from the drop zone with Noodles in 11th. So here's Calvin coming over the line now with a 1:21.8, goes second. That pushes Scotty into the drop zone. He's out on circuit at the moment. He's about to start his final attempt. So Gray is the man at risk at the moment in 10th place. He actually managed to improve. So he's 7 thousandths quicker than Scotty. And now we've got two drivers who are about to head over the line now. There's Albie and Jaihu right behind him. Albie goes over the line, goes 6th. Then it's Jaihu next, up to 9th. So Simps and Gray have been pushed back into the drop zone, but Simps is on an improvement. Could Droftus be pushed into the drop zone here? Yes, because Simps goes fastest, so Droftus needs to find an improvement on this lap. Otherwise, it's game over for him. Gray comes back into the pits, although he's just missed the pit entry, went a bit too quick. Noodles goes over the line, doesn't improve. Well, he did improve his time, but not enough to get out of the bottom 5, so he's out of qualifying. Droftus coming into the penultimate turn is half a second up by sector 2, so Jaihu could well be pushed back into the drop zone here. Droftus over the line and goes fastest with a 1:21.3, so he had to obviously sacrifice the mediums to get through on the softs. Scotty needing to improve. Dan is the driver at risk. Has Scotty done enough? Yes, he does. Goes 7th. So Dan is out of qualifying. He did not make it. Too complacent. I don't even think he returned to the track in the final minutes of Q2. He felt he did enough, but obviously not. So the track evolved massively in that second part of qualifying. Rabico getting through in 9th place as well. He retired before the checker flag had fallen. So the 5 drivers we lose at the end of Q2, they are Dan, Jaihu, Noodles, Gray and Hamster. So MDG getting through there by the skin of his teeth. But that's motor racing. So there is confirmation of those out. Dan, Jaihu, Noodles, Gray and Hamster on the sidelines. The top 7 go through to Q3, where they'll battle it out for pole. Welcome back to the final part of qualifying. Who is going to be on pole? There's quite a few contenders going for pole, I would say. Droftus is definitely one of them. Bruges has been very quick as well. Simps, Albie, possibly Calvin. Who knows how this session could finish? And we've got someone heading onto the track. I think that's Droftus who is eager to get out there. Now, how many of them will head out there straight away? We'll find out in a moment. But what I was going to say is, all 10 drivers got through to Q3 on the soft compound. So you're going to see quite a number of different strategies throughout the field, I would say, at the beginning of the race. So Droftus hoping to extend his lead at the top of the championship at the end of tonight. We appear to have 10 drivers on circuit now. All 10 are on circuit, which is good to see. And Stroftus just booting that bollard out of the way. So Stroftus begins a fast lap now. He wants to be aiming, or he won't be going fast on this lap because he's exceeded track limits at turn 1, so he will back out of this one. We'll go to MDG next, last season's runner-up. Now, how's he getting on through turn 4? Nicely done. It was a rather cautious entry into that particular part of the racetrack. 26.9 by sector 1. And Scotty's back in the pits. Has he made a mistake on circuit, I wonder? Now MDG heading through. 49.0 by sector 2. And Drofter seems to have gone for a spin or something, has continued. It's not having a good start to the final part of qualifying. And Droftus is back in the pits now. MDG has the chance to get the first lap time on the board. It's a 1:21.6, it's decent, but I think there's still more to come. Dark Inferno second with 1:21.8, and next behind will be Simps, who is on an invalidated lap time. So Rabico is next in the McLaren. Now, can he do enough to be on provisional pole here? On this occasion, the answer is no. 1:21.7, 10th off the pace. We've got the Red Bull over the line. Calvin only good enough for 4th on a 1:22.4. We've got an AlphaTauri over the line of Cynix, who did not get a lap time on the board there. I think he exceeded track limits somewhere. Bruges goes fastest though, 1:21.4 for him. That's a very decent lap that he's just posted. And could there be more to come from him? And there's Simps, who I think he's on a flying lap. 49.0 by sector 2, so he has to be on a fast lap. Viewing open. And now as he heads towards the last couple of turns. And he's exceeded track limits again, unfortunately. So Simps may as well. And I've just seen MDG crash out on circuit. He's hit the pit wall, has MDG. So he will not start any higher than 3rd on the grid. That's a bad error for him. Scotty will be looking to get a time on the board. Cynix is on a good lap. 48.9 by sector 2. 6.5 minutes remaining. Is this going to be good enough for pole? Don't think so with the way he's going about his business. 1:22.2 for him. So only good enough for 5th. Simps has exceeded track limits again, as has Scotty. Calvin earlier, but only good enough for 1:22.2. And Rabico is going for another fast lap. Dark Inferno not on the fast lap, so we'll stay with Rabico. He'll be looking to improve through sector 1. He's not improving actually. Quarter of a second down. And through sector 2, I would imagine Rabico will still be somewhat down from before, but let's We'll see. Yeah, he's 3/10 down from before. So this is not a very quick lap here from Rabico. May as well duck back into the pits and get another set of tyres on. Scotty on a 27.0 through set to 1. In regards to traffic, he's absolutely fine. .49.3 by the second sector. Scotty trying to make up for lost time. Now we're heading into the last couple of turns, and Scotty should do enough to maybe post a low 1:22 with this one. He's only 7th, the slowest of all the times. Albie is on a flying lap now in the Alfa Romeo. He's shown some strong pace in previous qualifying sessions at Silverstone and Portimao. He's definitely showcasing it here. 26.8 by sector 1, that's very decent. Turned in very early there into turn 6. Don't know whether he actually lost time or not, but we'll find out by the time he gets into sector 2. Now he needs to be in the 48s really. I don't even think he's going to be in that figure, to be honest with you. It's only a 49.0. So Albie probably going to be good enough only for 5th or lower. But we'll see. In the last sector of the lap. So Albie coming through the last turn now. Rear wing open. Over the line he comes for 1:21.9. He does go up to 5th with that lap. Scotty back in the pits. Time is against him to get another set of tyres on. Out on circuit and get over the line before the checker flag falls. And Rabico's on circuit now on a new set of softs, so he's not hanging around. But the only trouble he's going to have is when he comes onto the pit straight, when our car is going to come out ahead of him. He may as well back off the pace if he needs to. So Rabico coming through. So Bruges fastest ahead of Inferno, MDG 3rd, Rabico ahead of Albie. We've still yet to see Joftis and Sims get laps on the board. And now Rabico is starting his, what could be his final attempt right now as the AlphaTauri stays out of the way. That's Synix. There's not a lot of time left in qualifying. I would say they need to be out of the pits by 1:35 at the very minimum. Inferno heading back out on circuit now, as is the AlphaTauri of Scotty. Rabico not improving through sector 1, unfortunately. How much time is he finding through sector 2? It's only 300ths down from before through sector 1. Through sector 2, he's half a tenth up. So Rabico frogging MDG into 3rd. So Albie's in the pits, he's not going out again. Neither will MDG, obviously. Oh, Rabico made a mistake there. Into the penultimate turn. That'll cost him time. And that'll ruin his chance of going up to 3rd with this lap. 4/10 down from before. So Rabico's got one more shot at it. He's got probably enough ERS still left in there to give it another go. So we'll come away from him. Synix starts a flying lap now. Joss is about to start a flying lap. Simps is not on an improvement through sector 2, so I don't think he's actually going to set a lap time at all. In Q3, he spun into the wall, and that's his qualifying session over, so he will start no higher than 9th on the grid. As Calvin comes through sector 2, 3/10 up from before. He's already spun twice here before, but he doesn't spin this time. So he enters turn 13. He probably turned it a bit too early, to be honest with you, through that. He needs to be in the 1 minute 21s at the very minimum. He won't be on pole. I doubt he will be. But we'll see when he crosses over the line. Rear wing open. The checker flag has fallen. Over the line comes Calvin. It's third fastest for him. Onto the second row he goes. 6/10 up from before. What about Bruges? He's coming over the line now. Is this going to be an improvement? Not quite so, but he's still on provisional pole as we speak. Rabico over the line. He's on an improvement in the McLaren. He goes up to third place with that. 1 minute 21.5 for him. Next up is Sinix in the AlphaTauri. What can he do? He's on a 1:22.2 last time around. 1:21.8 for him. Only 6th fastest. Next up is the championship leader of Joffers, who hasn't posted a time yet in Q3. He's about to now, but is this going to put him on pole? No, it's not. It's only 5th for him. So Joffers will not be on pole. We'll go to Scotty next. He'll be the last driver over the line. Scotty over the line for AlphaTauri. Does improve, but only goes 9th. So at the end of that, it is Bruges in the Alpine on pole position, with the reserve driver Dark Inferno in the Haas alongside. Rabico is next in P3 with Calvin 4th. Jottis on the 3rd row in 5th alongside MDG. Sinix and Albi are on the 4th row with Scotty 9th and Simps making up the top 10. And we've got a 29 lap race to look forward to very, very shortly. Do not go anywhere. So 20 drivers will be raring to go for the start of this race. A lot of them will be thinking about strategy. Others will just want to be getting through the opening lap unscathed. We've seen a few drivers spin round, crashing on the exit of turn 12, so that's probably an area where you want to be keeping an eye out on. Now, I don't think there's going to be a formation lap for the start of the race, so we should start as soon as the countdown is complete. So we're 30 seconds away from lights out. Can Bruges convert his pole position into the race victory? He goes into this race 5th in the standings on 50 points, 29 off the lead. Joftis will just hope to keep himself out of trouble and get a decent points finish. While Rabico will be wanting to close down the arrears as we get ready for the start of the Australian Grand Prix in Tier 1 in the CDR. Who will lead into Turn 1 first? Well, we're underway for the formation lap, so we'll have to wait for a few more minutes before we do go lights out. But a rundown on the grid for the start of this race. So Bruges on pole position ahead of Dark Inferno alongside. Then we've got Rabico and Calvin next. Then it's Joftis and MDG. Sinix and Albi are next behind on the 4th row ahead of Scotty and Simps. Dan ahead of Jaihu on row 6. Ahead of Noodles and Great. Hamster and Red Dog on next behind with Martin and Jay Hartnell on the 9th row. Bringing up the rear are Harry and Flix. So we've got one Alpine at the front and one at the back. Now we've got Jaihu, Red Dog, Martin and Jay Hartnell all on the mediums. The rest are on softs. Now we are expecting a one-stop race, although others may decide to go a little bit more aggressive on a two-stop. So Bruges will be looking to pull clear of the lights. There's a bit of a gap behind him actually, because Rabco's just backing up the field whilst Bruges and Inferno are clear of the rest. Calvin isn't hanging around. He wants to get underway. He wants this race to get underway as soon as possible. So we've got the field back on the straight now, with Bruges taking up his position. Round 6 of the championship. Could we have another different winner here tonight? Well, Joftus has won 2 races already. Rabico has won 1, so has Calvin, and so has Colin. Could we have 5 different winners from 6? So Bruges will be hoping to lead into turn 1 first, with Dark Inferno giving chase. Everyone is in position and ready to go. Bruges in the Alpine against Inferno in the Haas. The 5 red lights appear in front of the drivers. It's lights out, and away we go. Inferno gets off to a fantastic start. He's going to lead into turn 1 first, surely ahead of the Alpine of Bruges. So Inferno in front into turn 1. Bruges going side by side, runs out wide onto the AstroTurf. He should stay side by side, and now he's lost the position to the Haas, and also Johnson's made a phenomenal start in the Ferrari from 5th to 2nd, heading into turn 3. So Bruges loses another place as they come out of there. One of the Aston Martins is off the chart. That's Aidan Gray. So he's lost ground as well. So Inferno into the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Ahead of Jottas, ahead of Bruges. It's Rabico in 4th place. MDG, Albi, Calvin is next, although Science gets ahead of him. Sims and Scotty complete the top 10 as we speak. So Inferno heading through turn 9 with Jottas next behind. We've got Bruges and Rabico next up, with MDG and Albi next. Calvin and Cynix still giving chase. There's a long way to go yet. We've got this notorious turn 11 and 12 section, which the drivers have had some trouble getting through during qualifying. And we've got Dan running wide there in the Ferrari. That won't help him one bit. And seems as though everyone's got through there fine. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps. Inferno got the start he wanted. But will he remain there by the race end? And now we watch MDG close up behind Bruges. He's lost another position to Rabico. So Bruges going backwards at the moment. As we watch further behind, the battle between Hamster and Noodles for 12th place. And now we can see Red Dog just hold off Gray for 18th, with Flix remaining in last. No one ducking into the pits at the end of that first lap for repairs, which is good to see. We want to see them all fighting. So Inferno leads, Droftus next behind, and Hartnell off the track, I think. Oh, and that's someone in the wall. That is Red Dog out of the race. Virtual safety car deployed. So Red Dog, the first victim of the unforgiving walls of Albert Park. The VSC is deployed, so not the full safety car. So Dark Inferno will need to watch his Delta, and it's the same for everyone else. So Red Dog's race ends in the barrier. He's not had a good start to his season. He's missed a couple of rounds in Hungary and Portugal. But his best result this season has been an 11th place finish at Silverstone. back underway now, as far as I am aware. We are most certainly now. So Inferno continuing to lead. The DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. And so Sims will want to get in front of Sinix as soon as he can. Probably needs to bide his time. We won't use the DRS on this occasion because the detection point is at turn 14, and that's for the zones on the pit straight and the straight they've just gone by. But the next time they'll be able to use the DRS will be on the back straight after turn 12, so that'll be a chance for Sims to make a move, providing he stays within 1 second of the car ahead. Well, Joffs is most certainly within 1 second of Dark Inferno in the fight for the lead. Joffs will know that Rabico is behind him, so Joffs won't want to take too many risks at this stage of the race. Inferno will need to go defensive. Schotty's gone off the track at turn 10. And Rabico now with the first time penalty of the race. And Sims looking to make a move on Sinix for 8th place. He's on the inside, heading into turn 13. And Sims not able to get in front on this occasion and waits behind. And Martin's lost his front wing as well. Has he had a coming together with Scotty, I wonder? It's been a race to forget so far for Martin. He had a really dismal qualifying. He hasn't got any better in the race so far. Joftis then, with the rear wing open, behind Inferno. Round the outside as they come towards turn 3. And this is going to be a change for the lead. Joftis gets through on the outside. Now he's got the inside for 4. But Inferno is not giving up on this occasion. But he is now. Joftis runs wide. But he keeps hold of the lead. And Martin in the pits and out of the race. So he goes no further, unfortunately. So Martin's run of 3 top 4 finishes in a row has come to an end. I'd have thought he would have carried on, to be honest with you, in case there was a safety car, but decided otherwise. So we're down to 18 runners, 2 retirements. Joftis nearly dropping it there on the exit of turn 12. You have to be careful through here, but you don't want to lose too much time in easing off the throttle on the exit of the turn. You have to find that balance there. Oh, and that's someone off the track. That's Gray going onto the grass there. Was able to keep going. And so Inferno will have the DRS on the pit straight, which means he'll have it on the next straight after turn 2. And Joftis now with a time penalty for track limits. That won't help him one bit. It's good news for Inferno. If he can stay within 3 seconds of him, he'll finish ahead of the Ferrari by the time the checker flag is raised. Simps gets past Simps for 8th place temporarily before Sonic's fought back. There's Jaihu holding off Hamster and Noodles for 10th. There's Dan in 13th place ahead of Harry. Almost getting ahead of him. So we've seen some good battles so far. So Dark Inferno continuing to give chase as we watch Bruges run wide a little bit on the exit of turn 12, but gathered it all up. And there's Hamster on the inside of Jaihu for 10th position. He's got through there, no problem. So we go back to the leaders as Inferno continuing to use the DRS. So Bruges holding off MDG. There's Albie as well and Calvin. Oh, and that's Sims in the wall. Surely he's hit the wall and he's pointing the wrong way. Front wing damaged. Sims struggling to get the car pointing the right way. He's got going now. So he was running in the top 10 and now he's falling well down the order, and he'll be in the pits for a new nose cone. So Dark Inferno doing very well so far. Joftis doing a cracking job after starting 5th on the grid. And he didn't get the best of exits coming out of that. Dark Inferno most certainly did. Let's close back up behind the Ferrari as they come towards the end of lap 6. And so, you see Inferno chase him. And Jaihu's gone for a spin. So Jaihu spun on the exit of the last turn. So he's next to fall down the order. And Sims comes into the pits. And someone's dropping down the order. It looks like Jaihu's got a problem actually. Well, he's run wide, I think, on the exit of turn 2. And Sims rejoins the race now, albeit in last place, but he's still in the lead lap. And someone's had to come in together. There's 2 cars off. That is Albie and Calvin. I don't know what on earth has happened there. So the 2 have gone for a spin, and they've fallen down the order after that. There's probably some debris on circuit as well, which may prompt the virtual safety car. We go back to the battle for the lead as Inferno is still giving Joftis a little bit of a hard time at the moment. So Inferno waiting for a mistake from Joftis at some point. I'm just thinking as well, with the clouds so dark at the moment, could rain be on the way? And Bruges with a time penalty for chat limits. MDG getting ahead of him now. So Bruges down another position, but at least his car is still pointing the right way. Hamster with a penalty also for Red Bull. He's now up to 7th position, thanks to the misfortunes of others. So Calvin rejoins in 18th, Albie in 16th. So Inferno's fallen out of that 1 second margin of Joftis. And looks like someone's come into the pits. That's Rabico. So he's in at the end of lap 8. That's quite early actually for a scheduled pit stop, unless he's going aggressive. Sims with a penalty now for track limits. Where will Rabico come back out in regards to track position? He might get out just behind his teammate. And someone's gone off there. That's Bruges off on the exit of turn 2. And it looks like he's got damage to the Alpine there. Has he had a coming together with someone? That's Dark Inferno who's spun. Spin. And he's going across the grass. Make sure he rejoins safely, which he does so. So all that's promoted MDG up to 2nd place now. Joftis well and truly in the clear, but he needs to watch for Rabico as well, because Rabico will be performing an undercut on him. And so, when will Joftis decide to pit him? And Rabico's not behind his teammate. He may get the DRS on the start-finish straight. And Joftis is in for Ferrari. So he is responding to Rabico's earlier stop. And Sims has gone for another spin at turn 5. And so Joftis gets out as MDG also comes in. Hamster takes the lead of the race. And Sims has had another moment as Rabico gets past his teammate. And Joftis rejoins. And Gray gets penalised for speeding in the pit lane. 5 seconds it'll be for him. So Rabico able to close back in on Joftis, but he's not able to complete an undercut on him. So Hamza inherits the lead. We had Noodles and Dan. Harry up to 4th. And Dark Inferno rejoins behind Albie now in 13th position. Bruges in 17th place, just to say. And I think Sims will be in the pits at the end of this lap. And this is probably to retire the car. He's got no front wing to his car anyway, so he needed to go in. And so Hamster comes into the pits. Noodles, the next driver to take over the lead. And Dan also in for Ferrari. And Sims is carried on for now. Harry's getting held up by the looks of it. So Hamster will rejoin in 9th place, Dan in 10th. Flicks the next to come in for Alpine. And Harry now penalised for track limits, unfortunately. 3 seconds it'll be for him. And Sector 1 has seen Albie go for a spin at turn 2. It's been a miserable race for Alfa Romeo tonight. Both cars on the podium a week ago in Portugal, and both cars just out of their depth tonight, really. And so Noodles back in the pits. Well, he's in the pits anyway. I think Harry's going to be doing the same. So at least Sims is now back on the lead lap. We've seen a glitch at the moment, so just try and ignore that for now. So Joftis is back in the lead of this race. Rabico in P2. Then it's MDG who's just got in front of Jay Hartnell for 3rd place. And now we're seeing Jaihu and Sinix fight over 5th. Jaihu holding on for now, and this is Hamster closing in on the AlphaTauri. He dives to the outside. Can't quite make the move stick, and so he waits behind. Again, there's Noodles, who seems to be on the same set. He can't be on the same set, surely. He's on the set of mediums now, so the leaderboard has updated itself properly. So everyone apart from Jay Hartnell and Jaihu has pitted. Two seconds is the gap between Joftis in the lead and Rabico in 2nd. Sims with the new fastest up of the race. And someone's gone off there. That's Sinix. Front wing damage for him. Is that going to bring out the virtual safety car with that debris line there? And Hamster pulling off a move on Jaihu on the pit straight to take 5th place. Jaihu not giving in though. And it looks like Noodles will be fancying his chances. Sonic's into the pits for AlphaTauri. He'll be dropping down the order most certainly. Noodles giving chase to Jaihu, who hasn't pitted yet. Jai Hartnell running his own race in the McLaren. He'll be on the soft compound later on. If we get a safety car in around about 5 laps time, that will play into his hands. Noodles passes Jaihu for 6th place now. Can Dan follow through? And someone's gone off in sector 3. That'll be, I think that was Harry who had a moment. Let's continued. That's great. Behind Calvin in the fight for 12th. Oh, I think he's gone for a spin. In fact, Calvin's off on the exit of the last turn. The gap that Josses has over Rabico is now 4.5 seconds. MDG running in 3rd. Jay Hartnell 4th. He's really doing a fine job right now. And there's Noodles in 6th, Jaihu 7th. There's Dan. He's really wanting to pass the Haas without an issue. So Dan, with the rear wing open, gets past Jaihu. He's up to P7. No problem whatsoever. And there's Harry into the pits. I think he picks up front wing damage. When he had his moment a lap ago, he's into the pits for another set of mediums and a new front wing. So Harry will rejoin in 16th place after that stop. I think Flix's car has been controlled by the AI throughout this one, so I'm not so sure whether Flix will be able to keep his position at the end of this race. At least Sims has got someone to battle with on circuit. So we're at the halfway point of this race. Troftus in full command. And Rabico's 2nd place is looking precarious at the moment because MDG is less than 3 seconds behind him. And MDG will be going to 2nd once the penalties have been applied at the end of this race, as it stands anyway. Hartnell doing a fine job in the McLaren. Didn't expect him to get up that high before pitting. The question is, where will he feed back out once he's done his stop? I would think he could get out. Oh, and Gray's out of the race. Gray has crashed on the pit straight. Is that going to bring out the safety car with him stranded there? It may well do, but it may not. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, he's gone in nose first, and Gray's race has come to a premature end. It doesn't look like we're going to get a safety car or a virtual safety car with that car lying around. So we carry on as we are. So we're on lap 16. Droftus continuing to head the pack. Hartnell not too far behind. He's only 3 seconds in front of Hamster, who is obviously on better tyres. And now someone else is off in sector 2. That'll be one of the AlphaTauris. That's Cynix, I think, is ripped off his front wing. That could deploy the virtual safety car. And I think we'll see Cynix retiring from the race, to be honest with you. He's so far behind. He's going to go down the lap once he does pit in. He only pitted in about 4 or 5 laps ago. So Droftus looking to return to winning ways after a 2-year hiatus or a 2-race drought. Cynix into the pits, gets his front wing changed. And is there going to be the soft compound tyres going on? May as well put those on if he's looking to continue. He's come back out on his old set of mediums as Sims gets another time penalty for track limits. And Hartnell pits in from 4th place. It's the soft compound going on for him. A brand new set. Dark Inferno will go past him, Scotty as well. So Hartnell will rejoin in 10th place, ahead of Bruges. Now, what can Hartnell do from here? So we've not had a safety car yet in this race. We did have a virtual safety car earlier because of Red Dog's crash on lap 2. But nothing more than that. Hamster, as it stands, would lose his 4th place. Noodles will be up there. Noodles has had a... Just looking at his record this season, Noodles has had a 4th place finish in Hungary and a 5th place finish at Silverstone. And now he's got Dan behind him, snapping at his heels. And Joy, who still hasn't pitted yet in this race. We're on lap 19. And Robico's 2nd place is still on a threat at the moment. MDG looking to close up on it. So Jay Hartnell looking to pick up the pace, which he is doing so. So Hartnell 4.5 seconds behind Scotty. And someone's had a moment After that, Simps, who's at the back of the field, he's gone off yet again. Front wing damage for him. So Noodles under threat here from Dan in the fight for 5th. And Albie behind Bruges in the fight for P11. And now we've seen Sims, I think, just going slowly on the back straight as Noodles and Dan continuing to do battle. Dan nearly losing it on the exit of turn 12. And Sims off the track. Should rejoin without causing any more mayhem here. I don't know if he's going to waste any more time in this race. There's Jaihu under threat from Dark Inferno. And Jaihu into the pits. And I think Sims is going to be retiring from this race now. As Jaihu's the last of those to come in for a stop. I think Jaihu might do enough to get out in front of Calvin here. And he is out in front of him into turn 1. But will he be in front of him by the time they get to turn 3? Because Calvin's going to have a run on him. And so Jaihu stays in front. And then with on newer tyres, he should be able to pull away. There's Jaihu now 2.5 seconds behind Scotty in the fight for 8th. There's Dark Inferno trying to get himself back into a top 5 position, whilst Noodles and Dan look to do battle over 5th. Bruges with another time penalty. 6 seconds it'll be for him. As it stands, he'll drop behind Albie. Jaihu with a time penalty. He's now on 3 seconds. He'll drop behind Calvin as it stands. So we've got 8 laps to go, including this one. And Sims carrying on in the Mercedes, which is fair play. He's got a chance of going for a fastest lap, which won't net him a point. But at least it's still something to take away from in Australia. So Droftus come around to complete the 22nd lap. He knows the victory is ever near for him. And with Rabico running in 2nd, I'm just looking at the time. He dropped behind MDG as it stands. And as far as the championship is concerned, well, as I say that, there is a yellow flag. Calvin's had a moment and his front wing's gone. So Calvin has had a disastrous race tonight as Sims goes through to unlap himself from him. Now, if the order was to remain as it is, with the penalties applied, Droftus will be extending his lead over Rabico to 22 points. Martin not scoring today, Calvin not scoring today, so Bruges, with the way things are going, is on course to move up to 3rd place in the championship overall. Jaihu with the new fastest lap. He's currently running in 12th. just a couple of seconds behind Albie, as Sims takes that fast lap away from him. So there's a little bit of a battle for the fast lap happening on track. Sims pushing ever so hard. Oh, keep it out of the wall, please. He does so. Calvin into the pits for Red Bull. It's a set of soft tyres waiting for him. He's down a lap now on the leader. He'll be out in front of Cynix in 14th place, I would reckon. Cynix not able to get in front on this occasion. Bruges is off the track on the exit of turn 12, but has continued. Harry will move in front of him, no problem, up to 12th place. Jaihu now 11th behind Albie. And with the way Jaihu's going about his business here, he could even get the fastest lap again. But he doesn't so on this occasion. Albie goes defensive into turn 1. Jaihu goes right round the outside, over the AstroTurf. That's very nearly the pair of them in the wall. Jaihu round the outside with the DRS open, and he is through into 10th place. Very nicely done there. So Jaihu through. Next man ahead of him is Hartnell, who's now 1.5 seconds behind Scotty. Hamster, with a time penalty for track limits, is now a 9 seconds worth. As it stands, he'll be losing 2 positions, thus dropping down to 6th place. So MDG now 1.6 seconds behind Rabico. He does not need to pass him on circuit. If he stays within 3 seconds of him, he'll go to the runner-up spot. And Dan behind Noodles. Could we see a change in position here? That they both don't have penalties, so this is a genuine battle between the two. Dan thinking about a move, doesn't go for it there. And there's Calvin, who's over half a minute behind Bruges. And Calvin's previous fastest lap has been a 1:25.4, and this lap he's about to do is very much at the very minimum in the high 1:23. So we could see a new fast lap as Dan gets a penalty, as does Harry. So Noodles' hold on 5th is looking ever so likely. Calvin just wants to take something away from this race. Hamster with another penalty, 12 seconds he's on now. As Calvin posts a new fastest lap, 1:23.2. He's very much got it in the bag now, unless someone else ducks into the pits to get a set of soft tyres on. This is Jay Hartnell chasing Scotty. He hasn't got the DRS on this occasion, but if he keeps it up with his pace, he may just get in front of Scotty when there is a chance waiting for him. There is Dark Inferno on course for a 7th place finish. It could have been so much more for him, to be honest with you, though. So Dan wants to get past Noodles here, so he can pull away from Inferno. Because if Inferno gets... Oh, Dan got on the curbs too much there. He still has the DRS, so he can close back in a little bit on Noodles. He's got more ERS still in there than the Mercedes has, so he'll be using that to his advantage. 3 laps to go then for the leader. Signings in the pits again for AlphaTauri. Probably go for the fastest lap. Moving open for Dan. Does he go for the move on Noodles? He's going to the outside. Is there enough room for him to complete the pass? The answer is no. Noodles runs him out wide. Dan won't like that one bit. And that will help Inferno to catch him in the fight for 6th place. So Dan been chasing this Hartnell 1 second behind Scotty in the fight for 8th, which could become 7th once Hamster's time penalty has been applied, although he's more than 12 seconds ahead of these guys. So I think Hamster at the moment is only on course to lose 2 positions. Joftis' lead is 8.5 seconds now, as MDG looks to close in more on Rabico. And Sector 3 sees Simps go for a spin. Sums off his race tonight. Race continued. And MDG is through past Rabico. Rabico. Now, is Rabico low on fuel here, I wonder? Let's just have a look on his telemetry. He is tight on fuel. He's more tight on fuel than MDG is. So Rabico down to 3rd place on track. Bruges with another time penalty. Sims in the pits and retiring just before the race finishes. So a big shame there. And oh, Hamster's out. Hamster's crashed on the exit of turn 12. He throws away 4th position. That's a body blow for him. 2 laps away from a good finish, a good haul of points, and he's thrown it in the barrier. He'll be livid with himself for that. I know he had the time penalty, but he would only lost a couple of positions. So it's another race to forget for the Red Bull driver. Here's Joftis on his final lap. And Calvin with another time penalty, but that won't affect his finishing position. So, Joftis, 11.5 seconds clear of everyone else, is on course to take his 3rd victory of the campaign and extend his lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship. He's got 3 more corners to get through. Joftis has been in full control once he took over the lead of the race. What a brilliant drive. Joftis on the pit straight is going to come through to win the Australian Grand Prix for Ferrari. Joftis returns to winning ways. He'll be absolutely delighted with that performance. He could not have expected for a more sweeter victory than that. MDG comes home to finish in 2nd place. And that is the first time this season he's finished on the podium. His best result before today was 8th. And Rabico crawls over the line in 3rd place. And it'll be Noodles in 4th, ahead of Dan. Just get the penalties on the board just to make sure we know who's finishing in the right position. So Noodles will lead Dan home, although Infernal will move up a position. So Dan down to 6th place. And then we've got Scotty, who's just going to hold off Jay Hartnell to 7th. Hartnell 8th. And then we've got Jaihu in 9th. Ahead of Albie in 10th. Harry will be 11th ahead of Bruges. Kelvin down a lap in 13th. Synix 14th. And Flix, whose car is controlled by the AI, so he may not keep that point. So there's your race winner. It is Drofters for Ferrari in Melbourne. So your top three, Drofters in the winner's spot. MDG happy to get a good haul of points to move himself up the table in the standings. And can Drofters carry this form into the next round of the championship, which will be Ferrari's home event at Imola. Here's your race result then in Australia. Drofters wins ahead of MDG, even with the penalty. Rabico third for McLaren. Noodles fourth, a fine result for him. Inferno in fifth. Dan sixth. Scotty seventh. Jay Harnell eighth. Jai was ninth ahead of Albie, rounding out the top 10. Harry was 11th, followed by Bruges. Calvin 13th. He did get the fastest lap, but does not keep the point for it because he didn't finish inside the top 10. Sonic's 14th. Flicks, whose car was controlled by the AI, in 15th place. So we'll wait to see what the stewards say about it. Hamster crashed out a couple of laps before the end, but it was classified as a finisher. Sims wasn't though. Neither was Gray, Martin, or Red Dog. So the championship, as we speak, is that Drofters is now 22 points clear over Rabico in the driver's standings. And with Bruges finishing in 12th, that nets him only 4 points. It's still enough to move him up to third in the championship overall. But it looks as though it is a 2-horse race for the title after 6 rounds. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Next week we'll go to Imola, so make sure you do tune in for then. Same time next week, 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Friday, the 21st of January. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the CDR returns.